Hello, everybody. It is your girl, Miss TeeTalk. I am here back with another live. Very excited to be on live this week. I'm going to be on live 2 days a week for the next few months, and I'm very, very excited. I have my girl, Nikki LaShae, joining me today. So excited to have her on today. So she should be on shortly. Yes, she should be on shortly. How is everybody doing today? It is Monday. I love starting my lives on a Monday because it's a new life, new week, second week of the year. Hope everybody's having a really good year so far. I am, I'm chilling. So she's here. So let's get her in here. Hello.
Hey, Miss T.
Hey, Nikki. How are you?
So good, so good. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well today. So good to have you on my show today. Very exciting. I love to have multi-talented people come on my show, especially in the beginning of the year to really get the momentum going. So you are, girl, you do so much. You're so talented. And I was looking at your work, looking at everything that you've done. And it really, I'm like, my girl Nikki is doing the thing. So, but you started off being artistic and into music even growing up. So tell me about the instruments you played, I was, girl, tell me how it was growing up and for you to be this artistic person today.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, first of all, you look fabulous. You were just gorgeous over there, Queen.
Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful introduction. Um, yes, I started out as a writer and a musician, age 7 and age 9. Got my first published piece when I was 7 years old. It was a poem called "A Tree is a Tree." um, and then I picked up my first instrument when I was 9 years old, clarinet. And I always wanted to play piano. So as God would have it, when we bought our first home, the lady left the piano in the home. And so I started teaching myself piano because I already had music theory, of course. And then my dad bought me a guitar at age 16, and I taught myself guitar. And then when I went to college, Georgia State University, I studied theater and decided to not continue my music career. However, I did stick with courses. I studied classical guitar at Georgia State University, and I just didn't want to be forced to perform anymore. It had been my life, athletics and music, since I was, 9 years old. So I just wanted to do something different with my life, especially since I had been exposed to modeling and theater, and so these new art forms just kind of took over my life. And so that's kind of how it all began as far as my grounding in the arts.
Yes, and I love how you stuck with the arts. When it comes down to theater, when it comes down to acting, and then your writing, you stuck with as well. So you took that along with you in your career. So tell me, I know you went to Georgia State University, GSU, but tell me, how was your first acting gig?
My first acting gig.
How was the process?
There's so many stages. Sorry. There's so many stages of it. It's almost difficult to pinpoint it. But my first experience, other than high school, was performing in at Georgia State. For some thesis films and also some original works to perform on stage, to where the public was invited. So that was my first intro. And then, because I was working as a professional dancer at the time, really before my film career seriously kicked off, I was working as a professional dancer. I was able to be on major sets like Scary Movie 5 and The Identical, and she's of the Three Stooges. And so that allowed me to get the appropriate experience and a credit that I needed to get the auditions for strong pieces. So Sheesh, what was my first? I honestly can't even remember because there was like between independent and professional, but I can probably share with you some of my favorites, you
Yeah,
know.
like,
Um,
yeah.
I will always enjoy performing classic works, and so portraying Benita and August Wilson's A Raisin in the Sun will always mean something to me, and no matter how much work I get to do, I always appreciate keeping these very classic pieces alive. They matter so much to the American um, fabric, of art. And they're just highly influential pieces, and it's very important as far as storytelling is concerned to preserve these art forms. So that's one of my favorites. Um, Another one of my favorites was a piece actually written by an undiscovered but just immensely talented person. Her name is Tierra Luton,
Mm,
and I'm sure that the world will know of her soon. This particular film was executive produced by Mimi Valdez, and so a lot of people know Mimi Valdez. She's Hollywood, heavy hitter. She was behind this movie Dope and like so many other films, Mimi Valdez. So the movie is called Goddess. It was actually a short form, short film, and it was just a very interesting lesson for me because I didn't have but a handful of lines,
mhm,
but I was the most powerful
mm.
character in the entire film. And so from that film, I it's odd because these characters, you learn a little bit about yourself with each character. Because there's this quote that says you can only meet others as deeply as you've met yourself.
Ooh,
And that includes these characters because they're humans. We've created, other humans. We're just the vessel for them. So their life experiences, their history, we collect all that data, collect and create, all that data in order to have this being standing before you, which is not really me anymore. It's this character. So this character, her name is Glorious. And just the power, of my femininity, of my divinity as a woman, I was able to tap into. Didn't see it coming, but I'm very, very thankful for that film because of just the self-awareness that it allowed me to grasp. So those are some of my favorites. But I've been blessed to work on so many amazing sets. I've had so much fun. I had fun working on Bigger, that Will Packer show.
yeah,
The lead cast is amazing. So just my scene partner was Chase. His Instagram is Chase Comedy, so y'all follow him. He's super, super funny.
yeah,
He studies under Sinbad, and everybody knows Sinbad.
yeah.
And yeah, I had such a great time on that film. I I just shot Super Bowl commercials, so that was fun too. So I don't know, it's just so many amazing projects.
I'm so glad that you're a part of so many historical work, whether it's mainstream and if it's not, not mainstream. Each of these characters that you play, you said you see like a piece of like yourself in. Do you take each part of that character when you're like done with them into like
Mm. Yeah, that's a good question. Um, I wouldn't say that. I think that as an actor, your responsibility is to is to be honest, be truthful, because this is a real story. It may not be your own, but it's somebody's. And you never know who you're speaking to by telling the story. So you need to just, clear your space and allow this character to live through you. And I say that to say, it's because that character is using your physical, vessel for a while. Once they leave you because you've done your service. Both of you together in this partnership have done what you were supposed to do. And so once that period has ended, that film, once it wraps, once we performed our last show on stage, then, that's done. And so I wouldn't say that, I take pieces of the character with me, but I will say that the characters help to awaken parts of me that maybe
dormant?
required a little dormant or required a little bit more discovery, like that character Glorious. And even like there's a film La Vie Magnifique de Charlie, that's on Quiley TV, which is owned by a Black woman. So you guys go check that out, download it. And I didn't think that I was that sexy. So like I was cast to play a sex therapist, independent woman who owns her sexuality. But she's not letting anybody tell her how to be sexy. She's not letting anybody define what sexuality means to her or how she goes about it. But she also codes. She's extremely intelligent. She's not going to let anybody make her choose.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that time, I'm a Mississippi girl, Southern Baptist, not to say I don't have my, creative flair, but I had not yet, opened up to that bold spirit, yet. And so that character helped me tap into that, just by giving myself permission just to explore a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the beauty is that nobody judges you for being a character.
Mm-hmm.
So for that time being, as a human, you get to just release yourself from any social qualms or potential judgments from family, friends, or anybody that honestly, we shouldn't be worried about anyway.
Yeah.
But because we're human, we have these isms.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to portray these characters free us completely for that time. And we're allowed to really just play within our own spirits and navigate our own selves. And so rather than the character leaving something, the character has the potential to really awaken something within the actor. So
I like that. I love that answer. That's very elaborate and interesting, that answer. Because a lot of actors would, definitely say different things and how they feel, with their characters. How has, I know we're still in quarantine, we're still in a pandemic. How has that been for you, especially with work?
Yeah, it has, in the beginning, it was just, I have to say shock, right? Maybe everybody was in some sort of shock and we all respond to shock differently. I think for me, it was like there were so many things to consider. I said, okay, well then let me consider nothing. That's kind of what I do, just to make sure that, I'm not allowing circumstance to take over. I aim to be in good balance. So what I did was I just got very still. And I went into meditation because the truth is that the industry shut down immediately. And it was the first thing to shut down. So what that meant was my announcements were on hold. We didn't know. I had 2 screenings that I was set to host, canceled. I also do spokesmodeling at conventions. I speak on behalf of global brands, sometimes. Conventions, it's large gatherings of people from all over the world. Of course, that's canceled. So now we have the money channel shut down. Now we have everything that I do as far as art, shut down. What do I do? So initially it was a shock. I didn't know what to do with myself because this was my whole life.
Yeah.
And so in this whole space, it really allowed me just to kind of condense it. It really allowed me to explore life, just how honestly work and career is not the totality of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's you first.
Yeah.
And then what you have to offer through work, career, and whatever, in service and whatever else. And I realized, and I'm actually so thankful for it. So thankful for that spiritual awakening, if we can call it that, because it has allowed me to properly prioritize things. And I feel that that is a more powerful approach and more rewarding approach and more efficient, more, it just serves you in every way, when you properly prioritize your existence here in this life, meaning me first, not everything else determining my value or my worth or determining my direction, but me. And then I come out and give you me, and whether I'm a banker, whether I'm an artist or not. So that's how the pandemic affected me. First, it put me in the state of stillness, but I used that stillness to really just be open. And then in that being open, it allowed me to readjust. And in that adjustment, it allowed me to expand as a creative. So out of that, I created this project called Cinematic Monologues. So as a creator, I have to create. I have to.
Yeah.
So, but instead of relying on someone to call me in for an audition or to call me for a project they already created, I began to connect dots myself with other people who wanted to create. And so we have some things, you know, that are still in the lab right now, but we shot a few things between LA and Atlanta. Shout out to Michael Edwards, shout out to Avery O. Williams, shout out to Ty French, all award-winning folks. There are a lot of people so far that have worked on these projects, but we kept it really small, COVID safe, and intimate, but also creative. So we had one actor, one director, one DP, one writer.
Wow.
4 people. Yeah, 4 people. The writer never had to come, of course, but you know, it's only 3 people on set. We all wear masks, and then you know the editor can do his thing from remotely. And so with that that was going to be something initially just for social media to reflect through art the social climate, you know, but it became something so much bigger. So now, you know, we're looking at film festivals. We're talking to a couple of platforms about hosting the short form content. So that came out of it as well. So some art came out of it.
Yes, I'm so glad that you've definitely tapped in and found that outlet, and you knew to keep creating in this pandemic, because a lot of people have suffered through depression. The suicide rates has definitely went up throughout the pandemic, and you found an outlet for yourself and for a few other people to come along and to create such a masterpiece like that. And that's amazing to do. I'm glad that you kept yourself busy, because I've been trying to do the same thing, going on live every week, making sure that people, you know, I was really tapping in to this feature, and I think that's very important in what you did. Did you discover any other creativity? Like, did you get back? Like, would you still play your instruments? Like, would you do something like that throughout this time?
You know, honestly, if I had the instruments, I would. But also during this time, it did make me think, like, man, I really miss music. So, and that's the beauty of, like, I think as adults, we become so far removed from the things that bring us joy because we get so caught up in adulting, you know, and life and obligations. So we forget, man, I really do like, you know, walking, you know, on trails. I really do like playing guitar or piano, you know. And I believe that if we just understand that if we made time for these things that bring us joy, there will be ample time for everything else. As a matter of fact, we will be more productive in it. So I actually will be, you know, getting a piano. I started writing a lot more, and actually started, that's one thing I forgot to mention. I started actually booking myself out, you know, as a writer. So I'm creating a TV show for a creator in Canada, Montreal, you know, right now. I am head writer for a platform hosted on Clubhouse, if you've heard of that app.
Yes.
It's called Clubhouse TV. So I'm head writer for that and co-founder. So we have a lot of shows coming up. So, but I'm also, you know, doing some collaborations as far as hosting and acting and whatnot on that platform as well. So it's really allowed me to just expand, you know. But yeah, absolutely. I've certainly thought, like, it's been heavy on my heart, man, you know, I want to get a guitar again, and I want to get, you know, a piano again, you know. So
go back to your pastime. I actually just purchased a keyboard.
Yeah.
Past for Christmas. I'm like, let me get a keyboard. I used to play the flute, so I was growing up, but I wanted to
Okay, good wins.
and everything. And it was a great experience. But you know, at the age I am now, I'm like, you know what, let me tap into the keyboard. Even though I have these long nails, that makes it so hard, girl. But I've been playing it and learning new things. Like, and it's just like, wow, like to put yourself in that creative space and to challenge yourself out of your, out of a realm. Like, you're used to now doing acting and hosting. And I think playing your guitar and playing your piano, you can really touch your past time and really be like, wow, I still got it. Like
Yeah.
I can still do that. So you have so much talent in you, and you've been in the game for not even that long, and
Yeah.
like so much. You got a lot of opportunities your way, and it's definitely been a journey for you, and I'm glad that you're still continuing to get work because of the times that we're still in. But they're
Absolutely.
making it work when it comes down to acting, shows, especially like you said, Clubhouse, definitely a new app. Well, it's been around for a minute, but we're definitely, us creators are tapping into Clubhouse, and for you to use that gateway, it's like you're using each social media platform to your advantage when it comes down.
That's what we're supposed to do. We're in the digital age. We have to roll with things as they shift. And like, just like what Napster did to folks, then now there's like iTunes and Spotify. Netflix did it to the entertainment industry. Now there's all these digital platforms. And the beauty is that it's closer. Like now people have more control over their path, so you can create your own content, put it up on one of these platforms, license it or sell it or, whatever you want to do. So yeah, just utilizing what's out here.
Exactly. I think utilizing is definitely important, and using it the right way. Because there's also wrong ways to use the social media platform. But it's the right way for business, and that's how people can definitely see you and then see the work that you've done. So we're in 2021 now. So like I said, a lot has changed in your career and everything like that. But are you still working on in-person acting projects?
Yeah, as everybody is figuring out how to follow COVID safety protocols, like I just shot a commercial in Los Angeles, and I have another project that I'm shooting in 2 weeks in Los Angeles. I'm supposed to be shooting in New York. Where are we at right now? I don't know what week we're in, but I'm supposed to be shooting in New York for the end of this month. But honestly, because they had a second strain come out, there's been like another shakeup in protocol. So you just have to just kind of roll with it. But yeah, I'm still doing in person, but being mindful, of course. I mean, you always want to be responsible. I for one make sure that I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And after that, I make sure that they have their protocols and taste in order, because you don't know what people be doing at home. So, so
I'm like, I still get scared, but I try to keep myself healthy. I'm actually in the gym, so I want to definitely myself, healthy and continue my weight loss journey, because I think it's very important to drink your gallon, drink your green smoothies, get as much vegetable intake as you can.
Yeah. Even before COVID, these people were nasty. So like, so I'm not playing with these people. So yeah, I'm just making sure. But what'd you say?
It's so funny because you're definitely you're right about that. And change people's outlooks. Like nobody was buying hand sanitizer before. Like
right, like we're running out. What were y'all using before? And then why don't you just use soap? Hand sanitizer is not going to replace it.
No, but
But yeah, we can laugh about that forever. No. But yeah, so but yeah, I still take. You know what I do miss though? I miss theater. I really miss stage performances, and so I heard that Broadway is slated to have a show go up in March, so which gives me hope. So film can always find a way around it. Like they've been doing skeleton crews and stuff like that, and then they've been COVID testing. But the whole point of theater, right, is to have crowds. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So how do we get around that? you know, to that. So, you know, we'll see. I've been talking with a pretty big facility in Atlanta about working on a project. So I'll tap in with you once I have like the ink on the paper. So, you know, maybe we can announce it. But
Are you in Atlanta now?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm between Atlanta and LA. I'm honestly wherever I'm booked because this is where, you know, full time.
Yeah.
But I know for now, like I have, okay, so I'm an entrepreneur, you know, but I think that everybody should have stuff in their portfolio. But I'm kind of a quiet entrepreneur, you know. So in Atlanta, I have an apothecary. It's called Ask the Ancient. So if anybody wants to check it out, if you're into natural medicine, natural products, all based with on herbs and foods for your skin, for your face, for your lips, for your hair, infused body oils. We even have like coffees. Everything is medicinal. Herbal smoke blends, herbal bath teas.
Ooh.
Like we have one to open up the respiratory system. This is for the bath. One to ease muscle aches, one to ease eczema and psoriasis. We have lip kits, the smoke blends. You can, you know, if you're in California, you can blend it with what you wanna,
Yeah.
or you can, or you can smoke it by itself. And but most importantly, and how this thing all started was with the antiviral tonic. So there's a tonic called Antibad. So it's antiviral, antifungal, and antimicrobial, which means that it basically stops the bad stuff from growing and begins to kill it. And so this tonic it's a vinegar base, but what's extracted into it are all of these powerful herbs that, I mean, there is nothing, there's no adverse effects unless you have an allergy to botanicals, but it's all from the earth and they all serve the purpose of killing, purifying, boosting the immune system, getting deep into those muscle fibers to kill deeply embedded bacteria. It's strong enough to get all the way to your colon and balance your gut flora and kill bacteria there. That's what I do. I mean, I was sick before, and once I learned about foods and how to use food as medicine, and I had to fight for my life. And how I survived was learning about food as medicine. And so that's why, you know, in this time, you know, I was able to launch this company, and then I have a medical doctor that backs it up, because they know, you know, they know as well. So asktheancient.com. So that's really why I come back to Atlanta, to make sure things are in order with this as we're prepping to honestly hire employees now. It's a company that is really specific. It's like everything is prayed over, it's cleansed, you know, it's cured with high frequency music. So we take this very, very seriously because it goes into people's bodies, and it is meant to heal. It's meant to, you know, like everything has an intention. And all of our bath salts come with like mantras and prayers.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, so everything is about mind, body, spirit, wellness, all of it. So I'm very much hands-on at this stage, because whoever comes into this entity has to be of like mind, like heart, like spirit. So my life is pretty much in LA, but girl, LA is shut down.
Oh.
LA is shut down. LA is just open. I don't really do much, but you know.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see the energy, you know.
Open. New York is like half. I'm from New York. It's like half open, half not.
Oh my God. How was New York? Okay. So New York, you're in New York right now.
And Long Island, yeah.
Okay, New York is like, can you dine in New York?
I can dine in where I'm at. In Long Island, yes. I'm only 40 minutes away from New York City.
Okay, because you cannot dine in LA. Now in Atlanta, we partying. I don't know what's people with COVID is over down here. COVID is over. Okay. Yeah, COVID is done in Atlanta. The hookah lounges are open.
Yeah, because I was invited.
I don't know who's sick because everybody's out.
Everybody's out. I was invited to a party this weekend. I'm like, oh my God, like in Atlanta, I'm like, I wish I had like the will to get up and go, you know?
People coming in from out of town to hang out here, bringing their cooties. I don't stay home, people.
It's People, I'm not really hearing death rates or crazy rates. I don't know how that is out there, but like 150 people are dying now in New York daily.
Wow.
I think that's New York City. I don't know about New York. Like, we have like upstate, Long Island, and like the five boroughs.
There's a second strain, I think, up there in LA.
Yeah.
And so LA is like inundated like with stuff. So honestly, I just would rather, like, I went straight to set. And when I was offset, I went to the airport, and so and came back, So yeah, since those cities, you don't want to need medical attention in a city that's already bombarded,
Mhm.
as far as hospitals and the workers are like already probably tired, I just, so I came back, to Atlanta to keep an eye on the business. Also, honestly, our orders are increasing for the tonics, because what you really want to do is make sure that you don't need to go to the hospital,
Mhm.
because that's really the worst position to be in. There's no room for you, you know, there's no room for you to be treated, or then, now you have stress and panic taking over. So what is it? Your best defense is a good offense. I think that's right. So you just want to make sure you safeguard yourself, you know, bathe and whatnot. But most importantly, make sure you eat healthy and take preventative measures. So I take that tonic. Honestly, I have travel tonics too in the store.
Ooh.
Girl, I use me. I'm good at this stuff. So a couple days before I get on the plane, I up my dosages to like 3 times a day, and I take my travel tonic, because you're coming in contact with people, you can't help it. And the airport is like the nastiest place to me. And so and
Yeah,
so I take it when I get off the plane, sometimes during, if it's a long flight, like those tonics have kept me.
that's good.
Mhm.
Do you sell this online or only in your store?
Yeah, it's a virtual marketplace just because, COVID. So it's asktheancient.com.
Yes, I love that. And you also have the love effect. Is that what it's?
Yes, that is my baby. The love effect. Yes.
Tell me.
Because I'm all about love, right? So the whole thing is, what would you do if all of your decisions were rooted in love? So this whole thing came about like 6 years ago. And I would just do things anyway. Like if I worked for a company and they were going to throw a whole bunch of stuff away after an event, I would say, hey, do you mind if I take this stuff off your hands and, give it to people who need it? And, they didn't want to take it. So I was able to take like really like from Kashi, they have all these like organic, natural like foods and health bars and stuff like that. And then I would like pass them out, or, offer them to whoever wanted them in certain places that I knew people who needed it would hang out. And this was in Atlanta at the time. And then one Christmas, because honestly, Christmas, my holidays was Thanksgiving, because my grandmother, who's my favorite person, her birthday would fall like just before, Thanksgiving. It's November 24th, or it'll sometimes fall on Thanksgiving. And so I always wanted that for family. But Christmas just became something for the public. And so during the holiday season is a time where people could either be filled with love or filled with grief, because they're either with people they love, with people that they love, or they are extremely lonely. And so my heart just started speaking to people who didn't have family or friends to share that time with. And so I just one year invited, a homegirl. I said, hey, you want to do this with me? And her name is Sherry Braxton. She's an actress too. And then me and her, we made sandwiches, put together some kits, hit the street. And then the next year, it just grew. We had like 9 volunteers, like 90 bags. It was like 30 bags the first year. Then it was like 90 bags the second year. And then the next year, just did the same thing. Then we had like 170 bags, right? And then the next year, it just kept going, same thing. Then it was like over 300 bags. And the next year, it was like over 350 bags. So it just kept going. And then that year, too, we were able to expand to Los Angeles. And we worked with Alexandria House in Los Angeles, and how I was able to really expand there with help. Viacom and Awesomeness TV featured 5 millennials to on this program called Millennials Doing Good. And it was just really, really dope. I didn't realize how big it was, but it put the organization on a national platform. And we had these power influencers, Ricky Thompson, Aaron Burris, and Allison Stoner, the woman from she was the little girl in the Missy Elliott video.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So they're all like incredibly talented, incredibly fun people. And me and Aaron Burris actually linked up to do more volunteer events, after that. But it was a beautiful event. We worked with Alexandria House for the women and children there. And then I also launched the coloring book for the, because we have men's bags, women's bags, and children's bags, care bags that are, specifically for, the people like the women. We have different needs than men. So in the children's bags, I came up with this coloring book called The Book of Awesome Things. And so a lot of people don't think about the trauma that these kids go through. Like adults, we go through trauma, but these kids, like they go through sexual abuse. They go through like physical abuse. And, it messes with them. So a lot of them need therapy for that.
Yeah.
And so this book presents healing through art. So as these kids are coloring, they can say affirmations. Like there's one of the images are like, this is your garden. You can grow anything you want. Write what you want to grow. So, that puts in your head that whatever seed you plant in your life will grow just because you said so. So what kid cannot gain from that? So anyway, that's how we expanded into Los Angeles. And the website for that is www.theloveeffectworldwide.org. And, the Instagram is up for that as well. Both of those, Ask the Ancient and The Love Effect Connect is on Instagram. But yeah, so that's something that I love. That's my service, we just how we touch people. Like we're all like one step away from glory or tragedy, and I think COVID really put that in perspective for everybody. And the most important thing about those care bags is that each one has a handwritten love letter. So it's heavily supported by all my actor friends and my music friends, and everybody writes, love letters and signs it. And then, it's been many times where like people read it and they're crying, and it's just, so it just shows how vital human connection is, like how much we actually need this heart to heart, connection, and how that sustains. That's just more sustainable than anything, than any credit, than any, donation, than any money, than any red carpet invitation. It's just our ability to connect to each other as humans. That's really what this life is about.
Yes, exactly. That's the sole purpose of life. I definitely feel like, and I'm so glad how passionate you are about all the work that you've done and you keep doing. This is not going to stop, which I love. This is, you want to keep doing this, and you have a big heart. So you definitely want to touch a lot of people. You've done that through different aspects of yourself. Philanthropy work, entrepreneurship. So it's definitely a sight to see for a woman to definitely get out there and do what she has to do. And it's inspiring.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
Inspiring, Nikki. I'm very happy for you and what you have coming up. You said that you've done a commercial for Super Bowl. So that's exciting to be a part of.
It is.
That's next.
Yeah.
That's definitely I'm very excited about that for you. And what else can we expect from you in 2021?
Yeah, so man, it's just an interesting time. So there's a project that will be released on social media that is being written by a fabulous writer, producer. Her name is Nina Childs. She's based in LA. And she just produced some segments for CBS. Like she's super, super talented. And so that is just like me and an influencer who's very popular and super funny, on Instagram. We are all getting together to create some really, what does she call it? It's going to be presented on Instagram as kind of like a series, but it's going to make a big bang. It's going to make people like eyes are going to go big. So that's a creative project that's coming out probably late February. If you're on Clubhouse, we have some shows rolling out starting in February as well. So early February. So if you're on Clubhouse, make sure you tap in with me at Nikki LaShae. And yeah, so a lot of that's coming written by yourself or curated by, yours truly.
Yeah.
Not yourself, but yours truly.
And I'm about to definitely follow you right now.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, cool. We'll connect on that. And then I'll keep, of course, on my social media, I'll keep everybody posted about. There's just so much behind the scenes stuff happening. So as far as any kind of special screenings, right now, just kind of in talks to see where certain things are going to be placed. Mm-hmm. And that's really what's going on right now. So you guys just have to stay glued and just stick with me. But there will be announcements coming soon about certain things that you can see. So
we're so excited. I'm glad that we follow each other. We're keeping up with each other, and definitely love to see everything that you're doing and everything that you have coming up. So I'm about to follow you right now on Clubhouse, and I'm about to look and definitely watch the replay. And it was such an amazing, oh my God, you filled this interview. I love it so much about yourself and about what you do and what you're going to continue to do. And girl, you better keep shining. Okay?
Amen. Yes. Amen. Yes.
Yes, definitely. So, like I said, I really enjoy you, and I'm so glad that you came on to the show tonight and this evening. And I can't wait to see everything that you have going on, girl. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you for having me, Queen. I enjoyed myself. Thank you for the wonderful and questions, very insightful questions. And you keep on keeping on too, star.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great night, girl.
All right, you too.
She is beautiful, amazing. I love it. Oh my God, keep up with official Nikki LaShae. Keep up with her, guys. Thank you guys again for coming on. If you guys just joined, please rewatch this beautiful interview. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of TeeTalk.